Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the history of comedy. I am your host, Lord Sir Noah Houlihan, the I. Each lesson we will be taking a look deep into different types of comedy. Today's lesson will be an in-depth discovery of the knock knock joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Boo! Boo hoo! Don't cry, old chap. It is just a knock knock joke. Hilarious! But why? Breakdown. There is a very specific set of steps one must follow in order to accomplish a good knock knock joke. Step 1. The comedian says knock knock. I am using the term comedian very loosely since you are telling a knock knock joke. Step 2. The audience responds with who's there. Once again, I'm using the word audience very loosely. Chances are, if you are telling knock-knock jokes, you are not performing in front of a large room of people. Instead, you are performing perhaps for a small child, or someone you have tied up and chosen to torture with knock-knock jokes. Step 3. The comedian responds with a fake name. It is absolutely vital to the knock-knock joke that you not use your real name. 1, because chances are it will not make a lot of sense as a knock-knock joke if you use your real name. And 2, you don't want people knowing your real name if you are telling knock-knock jokes. Step 4. The audience repeats the name and adds who to the end, causing them to unwillingly say something silly. Step 5. The comedian then berates the audience for saying such a silly thing. Example. Knock knock. Who's there? Who? Who? Way to reinforce owl stereotypes. I have brought shame on my family and my species. Now, it is very important that you make sure that who will make whatever the name was funny. The problem with this format is it is very limited in possible punchlines. Unless your joke has to do with you who, Cindy Lou Who, or the Who, you are very limited in the amount of jokes that you can come up with. That is why an alternate version of the knock knock joke was created with a alternate step 4 and 5. In the alternates, the audience still repeats the name followed by who. However, in step 5, the comedian then reveals that they have a horrible speech impediment. Example. Knock knock. Who's there? Dishes. Dishes who? Dishes the police. Let us in. You sad man. This tends not to work as a knock-knock joke because it is the comedian that looks like a fool rather than the audience member, which does not give the comedian the proper chance to berate the audience member for looking like a fool. So it is not funny. You may have noticed that none of these jokes tend to be very funny. So why do they exist? Well, the first recorded knock-knock joke was actually found written on a cave wall. As you see, ancient man has written cook cook on this wall, a crude version of knock knock. Now, in this particular version of the joke, knock knock is actually the sound of his wooden club bashing a woman in the face. He then drags the woman back to his cave and rapes her. Primitive man was not known for its artistry or comedic timing. However, the knock-knock joke made a huge comeback during the Great Depression. The reason for this is a knock-knock joke implies that you still have a home in which to knock on. It also implies that there are still people in your life that would like to talk to you, which you didn't because it was the Great Depression. Now, most of the time, knock-knock jokes make people want to hang themselves. But that brings us to the new type of joke known as the avoidance joke. The avoidance joke is a joke made in an attempt to avoid having to listen to a knock-knock joke. Example: knock knock. Come in! As you can see, the usual repertoire of a knock-knock joke has been ruined, thus avoiding the knock-knock joke. Or, knock knock. Go fuck yourself. Or, knock knock. Now, in each of these cases, the knock-knock joke has been avoided. But are these avoidance jokes funny? No. Which brings us to the big question. Is there such a thing as a funny knock-knock joke? Yes. Yes, there is. I now present to you the only funny knock-knock joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Interrupting cow. Interrupting cow. Moo! Now, this type of knock-knock joke has actually bred quite a few spin-offs, as seen here. Knock knock. Who's there? Schizophrenic chicken. Schizophrenic chicken. Moo! There is also the less popular knock knock. Who's there? Interrupting sloth. Interrupting sloth. Who? That concludes today's lesson on the knock-knock joke. Please do the questions at the end of the chapter and have them prepared for the next lesson. And please join us for tomorrow's lesson on sloth!